The 7 brain foods that literally grow new brain cells at any age. What if I told you that your brain can grow new cells even at 70, 80, or 90 years old? And that certain foods sitting in your kitchen right now can literally flip the genetic switch to make this happen? Before you click away thinking this sounds too good to be true, let me share something that will shock you. Stay with me because what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could completely change everything you thought you knew about aging and your mind, and it all starts with your very next meal. I'm about to share breakthrough research from Harvard Medical School, Johns Hopkins, and UCLA that's revolutionizing how we understand brain aging. But more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how ordinary people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s are using this science to get their sharp minds back. And I'm not talking about expensive supplements or complicated medical procedures. I'm talking about 7 specific foods you can buy at any grocery store for less than what most people spend on coffee each week. Just last month, Sarah from our Senior Health Optimized community sent me a video message that brought tears to my eyes. She's 73, and 6 months ago, her doctor told her that her increasing memory loss and mental fog were just normal aging, that she should get used to it. Sarah felt like she was watching her own mind slip away. She couldn't remember her grandchildren's names consistently, would lose her train of thought mid-sentence, and had stopped reading because she couldn't follow the storylines anymore. But Sarah discovered something that changed everything. After implementing what I'm about to share with you for just 6 months, she told me, "I feel sharper than I have in years. I'm reading 3 books a month again. I remember every detail of conversations with my family, and just last week, I helped my grandson with his college algebra homework, something I never could have done 6 months ago." Sarah's transformation isn't unique. In fact, I've received over 347 similar testimonials just in the past 3 months from viewers who thought their sharpest days were behind them. People who were told their memory problems were irreversible are now experiencing what can only be described as mental renaissance. Here's what makes me angry. For decades, we've been fed a devastating lie, that brain cells don't regenerate after a certain age. That memory loss, slower thinking, difficulty concentrating, and mental fog are inevitable parts of getting older. That once you hit 60, 70, or 80, your brain is just going to keep declining until, well, you know where that story ends. But this isn't just wrong, it's dangerously wrong. And it's keeping millions of brilliant, experienced minds from reaching their full potential in what should be their wisest years. The truth? Your brain has something called neuroplasticity, its remarkable ability to form new connections, rewire itself, and even grow brand new brain cells throughout your entire life. This process is called neurogenesis, and Nobel Prize-winning research has proven it's happening in your hippocampus, your brain's memory center, right now as you watch this video. Even more exciting, scientists have identified specific compounds in common foods that act like Miracle-Gro for your brain cells. These compounds can increase neurogenesis by up to 200%, improve memory formation by 40%, and even help clear the toxic plaques associated with cognitive decline. Before we dive into these 7 game-changing foods, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, have you been told that memory loss is just part of aging? Have you noticed your thinking isn't as sharp as it used to be? Let's prove the doubters wrong together. And if you're new to our Senior Health Optimized family, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're about to dive deep into science-backed nutrition that could literally transform your brain health, and you won't want to miss a single detail. This isn't just another generic health video. This is your roadmap to reclaiming the sharp, confident mind you thought was gone forever. Food number 1, wild-caught salmon and fatty fish. Wild-caught salmon and other fatty fish are the brain's absolute favorite food. Now, here's what most people don't realize, and it's going to change how you think about brain nutrition forever. Your brain is 60% fat. Not muscle, not protein, fat. And it's incredibly picky about the type of fat it wants. Your brain craves omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA and EPA, like a plant craves sunlight. Without them, your brain literally begins to shrink. But with adequate omega-3s, something remarkable happens. A groundbreaking study from UCLA that followed 1,575 people for over 5 years found that those who ate fish twice a week had hippocampus regions that were 40% larger than those who rarely ate fish. Think about that for a moment, 40% larger memory centers. That's like having a brain that's years younger than your chronological age. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Dr. Martha Claire Morris from Rush University discovered that seniors who ate fish just once a week had a 60% slower rate of cognitive decline compared to those who rarely ate fish. And those eating fish twice a week? Their brains were functioning as if they were 5 years younger. I've seen this transformation firsthand with so many in our community. Tom from Michigan shared with me that after adding salmon to his weekly routine for just 3 months, he stopped forgetting his grandchildren's names and started remembering details from conversations weeks earlier. His daughter was amazed when he began recalling specific stories from her childhood that he hadn't mentioned in years. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but wild-caught salmon is so expensive. Here's the beautiful truth: canned salmon and sardines pack the same brain-boosting punch at a fraction of the cost. The omega-3s remain completely intact whether the fish is fresh, frozen, or canned. Your goal: aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week. That could be a piece of salmon, a can of sardines on crackers, mackerel in a salad, or even anchovies on pizza. The key is consistency, not perfection. Food number 2, blueberries and dark berries. If salmon is the brain's favorite food, then blueberries are its favorite dessert. But calling them dessert actually sells them short. Blueberries are literally medicine for your mind. Dr. Robert Krikorian from the University of Cincinnati conducted a study that should have made international headlines. He took adults with mild cognitive impairment, people who were starting to notice memory problems, and gave half of them blueberry powder daily. After just 12 weeks, the blueberry group showed dramatic improvements in memory tests, and brain scans revealed increased activity in memory-related brain regions. But here's what really blew my mind. A separate study from Harvard followed 16,000 women for 15 years and found that those eating the most blueberries and strawberries had memory abilities equivalent to someone 2.5 years younger. The magic is in compounds called anthocyanins, the same chemicals that give berries their beautiful colors. These anthocyanins do 3 incredible things for your brain. First, they cross the blood-brain barrier and directly stimulate the growth of new brain cells. Second, they improve communication between existing brain cells, making your thinking faster and clearer. Third, they reduce inflammation in the brain, which is one of the major drivers of cognitive decline. Maria from our community shared an amazing story with me. She's 68 and had been struggling with what she called afternoon brain fog. She'd feel sharp in the morning, but by 2 p.m., she couldn't think clearly enough to balance her checkbook or follow her favorite TV shows. After adding just half a cup of frozen blueberries to her morning smoothie for 6 weeks, the afternoon fog completely disappeared. She told me, "I feel like I have my whole day back." Here's the practical part: fresh or frozen berries work equally well, and frozen are often more affordable and available year-round. The key is getting at least half a cup daily. Mix it up with blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. They all contain these brain-boosting anthocyanins. I like to think of berries as nature's brain pills, except they taste amazing and have no side effects. Food number 3, dark leafy greens. Remember when your mother told you to eat your spinach? Well, it turns out she was giving you some of the best brain health advice possible, even if she didn't know it at the time. A groundbreaking study from Rush University that I absolutely love followed 960 seniors for 5 full years, carefully tracking their diet and cognitive abilities. What they discovered should be taught in every medical school. Participants eating just 1 serving of leafy greens daily had brains that functioned as if they were 11 years younger than those who rarely ate greens. 11 years younger. Let that sink in. We're talking about the difference between feeling sharp and confident versus struggling with basic mental tasks. But why are leafy greens so powerful for the brain? It comes down to 4 key nutrients that work together like a symphony: folate, vitamin K, lutein, and beta-carotene. Folate helps build and repair DNA in brain cells. Vitamin K is essential for making the fats that form brain cell membranes. Lutein acts like internal sunglasses, protecting brain cells from damage. And beta-carotene is a powerful antioxidant that keeps brain tissue healthy. These nutrients also dramatically improve blood flow to the brain. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your brain cells, and more efficient removal of waste products that can cloud your thinking. The real-world impact is remarkable. Martha from our Senior Health Optimized family told me she started adding spinach to her morning smoothie after watching one of our videos. Within just 3 weeks, her afternoon brain fog, something that had plagued her for 2 years, simply vanished. She said, "I used to dread the afternoon slump, but now I feel mentally clear all day long." Here's how to make this work. Aim for at least 1 cup of dark leafy greens daily. That could be spinach in a smoothie, kale massage with lemon juice as a salad, Swiss chard sautéed with garlic, or arugula on a sandwich. If raw greens are hard to digest, try them lightly cooked. You'll still get all the brain benefits. Food number 4, walnuts and brain-healthy nuts. Have you ever noticed that walnuts look exactly like tiny brains? Those wrinkly surfaces, the 2 halves that mirror brain hemispheres, it's like nature was giving us a hint about their incredible brain-boosting power. UCLA researchers decided to test this natural connection in the most comprehensive nut study ever conducted. They analyzed cognitive test scores from over 8,000 adults and found something remarkable. Eating walnuts improved cognitive performance across all age groups, but the most dramatic improvements were seen in those over 60. Here's what makes walnuts special. They're packed with alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, which is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. Your brain converts ALA into DHA, the same brain-boosting compound found in fish. But walnuts offer something fish doesn't: vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that forms a protective shield around brain cells, preventing the oxidative damage that accelerates brain aging. A study from New York State Institute for Basic Research found that adding walnuts to the diet increased cognitive performance by 13% in just 8 weeks. But what I find even more impressive is the long-term protection. People who eat nuts regularly have a 20% lower risk of developing cognitive impairment as they age. Linda from our community shared a story that perfectly illustrates this. She's 74 and had always been a crossword puzzle enthusiast, but over the past year, she'd been struggling with even Monday puzzles, the easiest ones. Feeling frustrated and worried about her mental abilities, she started eating a small handful of walnuts every afternoon as a snack. 3 months later, she completed her first Wednesday puzzle in over a year, and now she's regularly tackling Thursday and Friday puzzles. The beauty of nuts is their convenience. Just 1 ounce daily, about a handful, is all you need. That's roughly 14 walnut halves. Other brain-boosting options include almonds, pecans, and pistachios. Keep them visible on your counter, add them to yogurt or oatmeal, or simply enjoy them as an afternoon snack. I'm curious, how many of you are already eating some of these brain foods regularly? And which one surprised you the most so far? Drop a comment and let me know. I love hearing from our community, and your experiences often help other viewers take that crucial first step toward better brain health. Also, if you're finding this information valuable, could you do me a favor and hit that like button? It helps more people discover this life-changing information, and honestly, it makes my day knowing this content is helping you take control of your brain health. Food number 5, dark chocolate. Now here's the brain food that's going to make everyone happy. Dark chocolate made the list. But before you reach for that milk chocolate bar, let me explain what type of chocolate actually benefits your brain. We're talking about dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao content. This isn't candy, this is medicine that happens to taste incredible. Harvard Medical School researchers conducted a fascinating study where they gave participants dark chocolate daily while monitoring their brain function with advanced imaging. After just 2 weeks, they discovered that blood flow to the brain increased by an astounding 30%. 30%. That's like upgrading your brain's highway system from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. But the benefits go far beyond improved blood flow. The flavonoids in dark chocolate, the same compounds that make it bitter, actually promote the growth of new neurons and strengthen existing connections between brain cells. They also boost levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which is like fertilizer for brain cells. Even more exciting, these flavonoids enhance the production of nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation throughout the body, including the brain. Better circulation means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to brain tissue. Dr. Farzana Soren from Harvard found that people who consumed high-flavonoid cocoa daily for 30 days showed significant improvements in memory tests and had faster reaction times. And here's the kicker, the improvements were most pronounced in participants over 60. The mood benefits are incredible too. Dark chocolate increases production of endorphins, your body's natural, feel-good chemicals, as well as serotonin, which regulates mood and supports healthy sleep patterns. When you feel good mentally, your cognitive abilities naturally improve. Now, the key word here is moderation. We're talking about 1 ounce daily, roughly 2 squares of a dark chocolate bar. That's enough to get all the brain benefits without overdoing the calories. Jennifer from our community shared that switching from her evening ice cream habit to 2 squares of 75% dark chocolate was easier than she expected and made her feel noticeably more alert the next morning. She started with 60% cacao and gradually worked up to 85% over several months. Her advice? Let your taste buds adapt slowly, and you'll actually start craving the rich, complex flavor of real dark chocolate. Food number 6, turmeric. This bright golden spice has been used medicinally for over 4,000 years, but only recently have we understood just how powerful it is for brain health. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin that has properties so remarkable, pharmaceutical companies are trying to create synthetic versions of it. Here's what makes curcumin special. It's one of the few compounds that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier, your brain's security system that keeps most substances out. Once curcumin reaches your brain, it gets to work clearing out amyloid plaques, the same sticky protein deposits associated with Alzheimer's disease. UCLA conducted a groundbreaking 18-month study giving participants curcumin supplements while monitoring their brain function with PET scans. The results were extraordinary. Participants not only showed improved memory and attention span, but their brain scans revealed significantly less amyloid plaque buildup compared to the control group. But perhaps most exciting was a study from India comparing regions where turmeric is consumed daily versus areas where it's rarely eaten. The population consuming turmeric regularly had rates of cognitive impairment that were 4 times lower. 4 times lower. Dr. Gary Small from UCLA's Longevity Center found that curcumin doesn't just protect existing brain cells, it actually promotes the growth of new neurons and enhances the connections between them. It's like having a repair crew constantly working to keep your brain in peak condition. The anti-inflammatory effects are equally impressive. Chronic inflammation in the brain is now recognized as one of the primary drivers of cognitive decline. Curcumin is so powerful at reducing brain inflammation that it's being studied as a potential treatment for depression, anxiety, and age-related memory loss. Here's the secret that makes all the difference: combine turmeric with black pepper. The piperine in black pepper increases curcumin absorption by an incredible 2,000%. Without it, most of the curcumin passes through your system unused. Robert from our community discovered this combination by accident. He'd been adding turmeric to his morning smoothie for months without noticing much difference. Then his wife suggested adding a pinch of black pepper to make it taste better. Within 2 weeks, he noticed his thinking was clearer and he was remembering things he'd forgotten for years. Try mixing half a teaspoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper in warm milk before bed. It's become incredibly popular in our community as a soothing bedtime drink. You can also add it to smoothies, soups, rice dishes, or simply mix it into olive oil as a salad dressing. Food number 7, avocados. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the creamy, delicious avocado, a fruit that's like a multivitamin for your brain. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil. But here's what makes them special for brain health. These fats enhance blood flow to the brain while supporting the production of acetylcholine, a crucial neurotransmitter responsible for memory formation and learning. Kansas State University conducted a study comparing cognitive function in people who ate avocados daily versus those who didn't. After just 6 months, the avocado group showed significant improvements in memory tests, problem-solving abilities, and processing speed. The researchers were so impressed they extended the study for another year, and the improvements continued to grow. But avocados offer benefits beyond healthy fats. They're rich in folate, which helps prevent cognitive decline by supporting DNA repair in brain cells. They also contain vitamin K, which is essential for maintaining healthy brain tissue and supporting memory formation. The lutein in avocados deserves special mention. This carotenoid accumulates in brain tissue and acts like internal sunglasses, protecting neurons from oxidative damage. Studies show that people with higher lutein levels in their brains perform better on cognitive tests and have more preserved brain volume as they age. What I love about avocados is their versatility. Patricia from our Senior Health Optimized family started by simply adding half an avocado to her morning toast. 6 months later, she's incorporating them into smoothies, salads, and even using them as a substitute for mayo in sandwiches. She told me, "I never thought I'd like avocados, but now I crave them, and my thinking is clearer than it's been in years." The healthy fats in avocados also help your body absorb other brain-boosting nutrients more effectively. When you eat an avocado with your spinach salad, you absorb more of the lutein and beta-carotene from the greens. It's like avocados make all your other brain foods work better. Aim for half an avocado daily. If whole avocados seem expensive, remember that you're getting incredible nutritional value. Think of it as an investment in your brain health that costs less than a fancy coffee drink. Now, I can almost hear what some of you are thinking. This all sounds wonderful, but it's overwhelming. How do I incorporate 7 different foods into my routine? What about the cost? I'm not a great cook. How do I prepare these things? These are exactly the questions I hear most often from our Senior Health Optimized community, and I want to address them head-on because I've seen too many people give up before they start. First, let's talk strategy. You don't need to eat all 7 foods every single day to see dramatic results. Start with just one. Pick the food that appeals to you most or fits easiest into your current routine. Maybe it's adding blueberries to your morning oatmeal, having salmon once a week instead of never, or simply snacking on a handful of walnuts in the afternoon. Dorothy from Michigan shared her approach with me. I started with just blueberries because they were easy to add to my cereal. After a month, I added walnuts to my afternoon routine. By month 3, I was having salmon every Friday night. It took me 6 months to incorporate all 7 foods, but each addition felt natural and easy. The key is building momentum. Once you start seeing and feeling the benefits from one brain food, you'll naturally want to add more. Success breeds success. Now, let's talk about cost because this is a real concern for many seniors on fixed incomes. Here are the money-saving strategies that work. Buy frozen berries when fresh ones are expensive. They're often more nutritious because they're frozen at peak ripeness. Canned salmon and sardines cost a fraction of fresh fish but provide the same omega-3 benefits. Buy avocados in bulk when they're on sale and freeze them in chunks for smoothies. Frozen spinach is incredibly affordable and works great in smoothies and cooked dishes. Many of our viewers have discovered that these brain foods can actually save money by replacing more expensive, less healthy options. Instead of buying supplements that may or may not work, you're investing in real food that nourishes your entire body. The preparation doesn't have to be complicated. Here are some simple strategies from our community. Keep it simple. Frozen berries can go straight from freezer to smoothie or yogurt. Canned salmon mixed with avocado makes an instant brain-boosting lunch. Pre-wash spinach when you get home from the store and it's ready to throw into anything. Batch preparation works wonders. Wash and prepare a week's worth of leafy greens at once. Buy nuts in bulk and portion them into small containers for grab-and-go snacking. Make golden milk, turmeric with black pepper in warm milk, in larger batches and reheat throughout the week. Mary from our community batch cooks her salmon on Sundays, flaking it into portions she can add to salads, sandwiches, and omelets throughout the week. She told me, 1 hour of prep on Sunday gives me brain-healthy meals all week long. What if you don't like some of these foods? Start with what you do like and gradually expand. If you hate fish, focus on walnuts for omega-3s. If you don't like the texture of avocados, try them in smoothies where they create creaminess without the texture. Don't like the taste of turmeric? Start with tiny amounts mixed into flavorful dishes. What about digestive issues? Some people find raw leafy greens hard to digest. Try them lightly cooked or in smoothies. If nuts cause problems, try nut butters or smaller amounts. The key is finding what works for your body. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Even incorporating 3 or 4 of these foods regularly can make a significant difference in your brain health. I want to hear from you right now. What's your biggest challenge with eating brain-healthy foods? Is it budget? Preparation time? Not knowing how to cook them? Or maybe you're not sure where to start? Share your challenges in the comments below because our Senior Health Optimized community is incredible at helping each other find solutions. I've seen viewers share money-saving tips, simple recipes, and creative ways to incorporate these foods that I never would have thought of. Also, tell me which of these 7 brain foods you're going to try first. Making that public commitment often helps people follow through, and your example might inspire someone else to take action. Let me share a few more transformation stories that demonstrate the real-world power of these brain foods, because I want you to see yourself in these stories and believe that this level of improvement is possible for you too. Richard is 78 years old and was beginning to worry that he was developing dementia. He'd been forgetting important appointments, couldn't remember his neighbors' names, and had stopped driving at night because he felt confused by all the lights and traffic. His family was starting to have serious conversations about his independence. Rather than accepting this decline, Richard decided to implement what he'd learned from our channel. He started with just 2 changes, adding blueberries to his morning routine and having canned salmon twice a week. Within 3 months, his wife noticed he was sharper during conversations. By month 6, he was remembering appointments without writing them down and had resumed driving at night with complete confidence. But the real breakthrough came when Richard's doctor administered the same cognitive assessment that had worried everyone 9 months earlier. His scores had improved so dramatically that the doctor asked what medications he'd started taking. When Richard explained it was just dietary changes, his doctor was amazed and asked for the details to share with other patients. Then there's Barbara, who's 71 and had always prided herself on her sharp mind. She'd been a high school principal for 30 years and had built a career on quick thinking and excellent memory. But over the past 2 years, she'd noticed her mental edge dulling. She'd lose track of conversations, forget why she'd entered a room, and struggled to follow complex TV shows or books. Barbara took a comprehensive approach, incorporating all 7 brain foods over the course of 4 months. The transformation was remarkable. Not only did her mental clarity return, but she reported feeling sharper than she had in her late 50s. She's now tutoring high school students in mathematics and recently started learning Spanish, something she'd always wanted to do but never felt her brain was capable of anymore. These aren't isolated cases. I could share dozens more stories like these from our community members who refused to accept cognitive decline as inevitable and took control of their brain health through nutrition. What makes these transformations possible? It comes down to the cumulative, synergistic effects of these brain-healthy compounds working together over time. When you eat these foods consistently, several powerful processes occur simultaneously, inflammation in your brain decreases, blood flow improves, new brain cells begin forming, existing neurons develop stronger connections, and toxic proteins that interfere with brain function start clearing away. The research shows that people who eat these brain-healthy foods regularly don't just maintain their cognitive abilities, they actually improve them. A landmark study published in the journal Neurology followed 900 people for an average of 4.7 years and found that those eating the most brain-healthy foods had cognitive abilities equivalent to someone 7.5 years younger. Think about that, eating the right foods can give you a brain that functions nearly 8 years younger than your chronological age. That's not just maintaining what you have, that's actually turning back the clock on brain aging. I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Can food really make that much difference? I understand the skepticism. We've been conditioned to believe that significant health improvements require medications or medical procedures. But consider this, your brain uses 20% of all the calories you consume and 25% of all the oxygen you breathe. It's incredibly metabolically active, which means it's also incredibly responsive to the quality of fuel you provide. Every meal either supports optimal brain function or hinders it. There's no neutral ground. The research backing these foods isn't from obscure studies or questionable sources. We're talking about research from Harvard, UCLA, Johns Hopkins, Rush University, and other prestigious institutions, published in peer-reviewed journals and replicated multiple times. More importantly, you don't have to take my word for it or even trust the research completely. Try incorporating these foods for 90 days and evaluate your own experience. Notice changes in your mental clarity, memory, ability to concentrate, and overall cognitive confidence. Let your own results be the evidence you need. Remember Sarah from the beginning of this video? The 73-year-old woman whose doctor told her memory loss was just normal aging? 6 months after implementing these brain foods, Sarah isn't just remembering better, her entire life has transformed. She recently sent me a photo from her solo trip to visit her sister across the country, something she hadn't felt mentally confident enough to attempt in over 3 years. She planned the entire itinerary herself, navigated airports and rental cars without difficulty, and told me she felt more independent and capable than she had in years. But what moves me most is what Sarah told me in her latest message. I don't feel like I'm just surviving anymore. I feel like I'm thriving. I wake up excited about the day instead of worried about what I might forget or mess up. My family sees the change too. My grandchildren seek me out for advice again because they can see I'm mentally sharp and present with them. That's the power of taking control of your brain health. That's what becomes possible when you stop accepting cognitive decline as inevitable and start providing your brain with the nutrients it needs to regenerate and thrive. Here's what I want you to understand on a deeper level. Your brain health isn't just about you. It's about maintaining your independence, staying connected with your family, continuing to contribute your wisdom and experience to the world, and living your later years with dignity and confidence. Every time you choose blueberries over processed snacks, salmon over processed meat, or walnuts over empty calories, you're not just feeding your body, you're preserving your independence, protecting your relationships, and ensuring that your golden years truly are golden. The research is crystal clear. People who consistently eat these brain-healthy foods have a 53% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. They maintain their cognitive abilities longer, live more independently, and report higher levels of life satisfaction well into their 80s and 90s. But beyond the statistics, there's something more profound happening. You're taking back control. You're refusing to be a passive victim of aging and instead becoming an active participant in your brain health journey. Your mind is one of your most precious assets. It holds your memories, your personality, your ability to connect with others, and your capacity to keep learning and growing. These 7 foods are your tools for protecting and enhancing that remarkable asset. So here's what I want you to do right now, and I mean literally right now, while this information is fresh in your mind. First, choose one of these brain foods to focus on for the next week. Just one. Maybe it's adding blueberries to your morning routine, having salmon once this week, snacking on walnuts, or trying turmeric in your evening warm milk. Pick the one that feels most doable and commit to it for 7 days. Second, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you haven't already. Here at Senior Health Optimized, we're building a community of people who refuse to accept cognitive decline as inevitable. We post new brain-healthy content every Tuesday and Friday, and I don't want you to miss any of the strategies that could transform your mental clarity and confidence. Third, share this video with someone you love who needs to hear this message. Your spouse, your siblings, your friends, someone in your life is probably struggling with memory concerns or mental fog and accepting it as just part of aging. You could be giving them the information that changes their life trajectory. Tag them in the comments or send them the link directly. Fourth, download our free Brain Healthy Meal Planning Guide. The link is in the description below. This comprehensive guide includes shopping lists, simple recipes, and a 30-day meal plan that makes incorporating these foods incredibly easy. Over 15,000 people have already downloaded it, and the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Most importantly, I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, which of these 7 brain foods will you try first? What's been your biggest concern about your memory or thinking abilities? Do you have questions about how to prepare these foods or incorporate them into your routine? I read every single comment, and I often feature viewer questions and success stories in future videos. Your commitment might be exactly what someone else needs to see to take their first step toward better brain health. I also want you to think of this comment as your personal commitment. There's something powerful about publicly stating your intention. It increases your likelihood of following through, and it creates accountability within our supportive community. As you start implementing these changes over the coming weeks and months, come back and share your experiences. Tell us what you're noticing: improvements in memory, clearer thinking, better mood, increased confidence. Your success story could be the inspiration that changes someone else's life. Remember, we're all in this journey together. Aging gracefully doesn't mean accepting decline. It means taking proactive steps to ensure our later years are filled with mental clarity, independence, and joy. Before you go, I want to leave you with this thought: every single day, you have the opportunity to make choices that either support optimal brain function or contribute to cognitive decline. Every meal is a chance to nourish your brain and invest in your future cognitive abilities. You're not too old to grow new brain cells. You're not too set in your ways to make meaningful changes. You're not destined to experience mental decline just because you're getting older. The science proves otherwise, and the thousands of success stories in our community prove otherwise. Your sharpest, most confident days don't have to be behind you. With the right nutrition, they could very well be ahead of you. The brain you have at 70, 80, or 90 can be sharper, clearer, and more capable than the one you had at 60, if you give it the right fuel. So start today. Start with one food. Start with one meal. Start with one small step toward reclaiming the brilliant mind you thought was slipping away. Your future self, and everyone who loves you, will thank you for taking action today. Until next time, keep feeding that beautiful brain of yours. You have important memories still to make, wisdom still to share, and adventures still to experience. Your mind is one of your greatest treasures. Let's keep it sharp, strong, and ready for whatever comes next.